You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. A grass fire broke out this morning along North FM 1686 after a power line went down. According to the Victoria Fire Chief, fire crews say about 10 acres burned, damaging nearby fencing. No evacuations were necessary. AEP reports 8 power outages in the area along North FM 1686. Power is expected to be restored by 7:30 tonight. Firefighters were able to contain the fire in about 20 minutes. And today we recognize vulnerable people caught in the human trafficking trade as part of a Human Trafficking Awareness Day. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting spoke with a member of a local law enforcement who stands on the front lines against all types of trafficking. Trenton, what did you learn from your conversation?
Well, Amaya, I spoke with Goliad County Sheriff Roy Boyd about what it means to be on the front lines of human smuggling and trafficking. He says there's been a partnership between local and federal enforcement to create a unified stance against the impacts of illegal human smuggling and trafficking. The Texas Association Against Sexual Assault says there are over 300,000 victims of human trafficking in Texas at any given time, according to a University of Texas Austin study, with over 27 million people impacted worldwide. Sheriff Boyd told me how these departments work together to fight trafficking.
Millions of people brought into this country, many of them now being trafficked into unfavorable work conditions across the United States. Some of those are being forced into sex slavery. They're encountering individuals during traffic stops that are trying to work off that indentured servitude and have been trafficked into these areas for the purpose of paying off that debt to the car.
Local task forces like the Crossroads High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area have been integral to stopping illicit activity related to human and substance trafficking in Texas. Now, National Human Trafficking Awareness Day was established in 2010, intended to increase community awareness over the signs of human trafficking as well as the dangers. People are being asked to wear blue to increase awareness, and if you have any suspicion of human trafficking, you can call the anti-trafficking hotline at 1-888-373-7888. Amaya, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton, for that information. Now let's go to Trey Mining with the first look at our forecast. Trey, we were still in the cold areas, and it was beautiful today, though. Yesterday was gloomy.
Actually, I had a little bit more sunshine today.
Yeah, after church, I was like, Lord, the sun came out.
Amen to that. I tell you what, it was glad to see. But I'm also seeing some rain chances in there.
Oh,
How
wow.
about that? Maybe sooner than you think around here.
Wow.
Let's take a look at what's going on right now. We're seeing there is some sunshine still out and about in the area, mixed with a few clouds. Temperature 61 degrees on the outside. 22% humidity, very dry for sure. No wonder the fires got going early. That low humidity and the northerly wind keeping that dry air in. And nothing on the first warn Doppler at all so far. Nice and sunny, the partly cloudy skies out there. But unlike yesterday, we're seeing some better rain chance, more confident in that. Rain coming at us from the southwest, moving to the northeast, coming up before too much longer. What day will that be exactly? What about the rest of the week? And maybe even cooler temperatures coming up for next weekend, kind of down the road a little bit. We'll take a look at that coming up in the full forecast just for you. Back to you, Amaya.
Thank you, Trey. What started as a small protest against ICE quickly intensified in downtown Austin. Chanting in the streets turned into block traffic, confrontation with state troopers, and multiple detainment. Here's the latest.
Protest against ICE that started with people chanting in the streets, ended with multiple detainments and shots of what we heard were pepper balls. Around 6:30 this evening, a small group of people encouraged most of the people protesting on the sidewalk to join them in the streets in front of the J.J. Pickle Federal Building, which has recently been used by ICE. They were blocking traffic, and Texas DPS troops came outside to face them. After minutes of chanting, the group started marching, and we followed them.
It's good. I'm glad that we're taking to the streets. I think this is the type of action that we need. We really need people out here right now. I think the turnout could be even bigger.
The crowd made it back to the J.J. Pickle Federal Building around 7:30. Some people started burning flags and throwing shoes with red paint at a sign that had President Donald Trump's name on it. Then, Texas DPS officers started shooting rounds of unknown substances into the crowd, leaving behind a residue that you could feel in the air. Some demonstrators tell me they were pepper balls. Then, they marched again.
We should have self-respect as a people to justify every single time that the government uses excessive force against its own people.
This time to the intersection of Congress and East 6th Street, blocking more traffic. After about 10 minutes of protesting in the street, Austin police charged into the crowd. We saw them detain 4 people. Some people, like Jason Harris, who saw this all go down, say things are getting too crazy across the nation.
It was dumb. Nothing will happen. Nothing will change. The Democrats, they do need to stop being so progressive.
Flu cases are surging across the country, making this the worst respiratory illness season in decades. The CDC estimates more than 15 million flu cases so far, with hospitalization and deaths climbing. The CDC says children under 2 face higher risk of complications. Nationwide, about 180,000 people have been hospitalized and more than 7,000 have died, driven largely by a severe flu strain. Health officials warn cases could continue to rise. As we continue to track the killing of a Minnesota mother during an encounter with ICE, protests are spreading across the nation as questions continue to grow over transparency, accountability, and how that deadly shooting is being investigated. Here's the latest.
From New York to Durham, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles, demonstrators are demanding an end to ICE operations and rallying for justice after the killing of 37-year-old mom of 3, Renee Nicole Good. Chopper video over Minneapolis showing thousands flooding city streets.
We've been telling them to get out. They're not leaving. They are not wanted here. They are not making our community safer.
Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent last week. And now how that shooting is being investigated is at the center of the outrage. The FBI taking over the probe. President Trump seemingly acknowledging that the agency is not sharing evidence with Minnesota state officials who are now seeking their own investigation.
Well, normally I would, but they're crooked officials.
The lack of access is extending beyond state officials. Saturday, Representatives Ilhan Omar, Angie Craig, and Kelly Morrison say they were denied access to an ICE facility.
What happened today is a blatant attempt to obstruct members of Congress from doing their oversight duties.
DHS says the denial was procedural, citing a new directive requiring members of Congress to give 7 days notice before visiting ICE facilities, a rule the agency says is meant to address security concerns amid what the agency describes as escalating protest and political violence. As questions mount over transparency, this cell phone video of the moments leading up to those fatal shots still drawing intense scrutiny.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
Reportedly taken by ICE agent Jonathan Ross, accused of shooting and killing Renee Good. He fires 3 shots, including one through the windshield. Good's vehicle then slams into a parked car. The Trump administration insisting that the agent acted in self-defense, but Minneapolis officials pushing back and demanding ICE leave the city.
If this was about safety, you wouldn't do stupid things like that. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody has gotten killed.
The Victoria County Commissioners will meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Victoria County Courthouse, located at 115 North Bridge Street. On the agenda, commissioners will discuss approving an agreement with the Texas Division of Emergency Management for assistance teams during emergencies. They will also consider approval of donations to animal services totaling around $2,700. Now, commissioners' court meetings are held in room 241 on the second floor of the courthouse. And for more local news, content, weather, and sports, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com. And if you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. President Trump is warning Cuba, make a deal or no more Venezuela oil and security support. Details next.
Let's take a look at the review of the day. 64 degrees was the high. Low last night, a little bit cooler than we thought it would be because the clouds kind of moved out kind of temporarily overnight, almost near freezing, 1 degree above in Victoria, which is pretty much near average, a little bit below average for the low though. 14 degrees back in 1982 was our record low on this date, nowhere near that. Maybe getting some rainfall before too much longer. We'll talk about that coming up in our forecast.
Welcome back. Now to the major development and an arrest in the killing of an Ohio dentist and his wife. Her ex-husband now facing charges. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest.
This morning, a stunning arrest in the murder of an Ohio dentist, Spencer Tepe, and his wife, Monique, after they were found gunned down in their Columbus home just before New Year's Eve. Police now arresting 39-year-old Michael David McKee, Monique's ex-husband, charging him with the gruesome crime. According to a police affidavit, surveillance footage helped investigators identify McKee after they say it showed a car arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after. Police say they soon found that car in Rockford, Illinois, over 400 miles away, with evidence linking it back to McKee. Court records obtained by our affiliate WSYX show Monique was married to McKee in 2015, divorcing in 2017, saying they were incompatible. For more than a week, a manhunt for a suspect. Columbus police releasing this surveillance footage of a person of interest seen walking in the alley near the home during the time frame of the murders between 2 and 5 a.m. A concerned friend coming to the home when Spencer Tepe didn't show up for work, spotting the 37-year-old in the bedroom in a pool of blood. Their 2 young children still inside unharmed.
There's a body. He's laying next to his bed, off of his bed, in his blood.
The Tepe family releasing a statement thanking law enforcement, writing in part, "Monique and Spencer remain at the center of our hearts, and we carry forward their love as we surround and protect the 2 children they leave behind."
President Trump is warning Cuba to make a deal about Venezuela oil. On social media Sunday, Trump said that no more oil or money will be going to Cuba. However, he urged Cuban officials to make a deal, quote, before it's too late. Trump also said that security services that Cuba provided for Venezuela would be ending. Cuba's president rejected Trump's demands for a deal, saying the island is an independent and a sovereign nation that won't be bossed around. And people in Iran tell CNN that even though the internet is shut down and security forces are using violence, they are still protesting and asking for changes in their government. Video on social media shows large crowds in Tehran during the past 2 weeks. Authorities have arrested thousands, and some groups say dozens of people have been killed. President Trump said the United States is ready to help, but Iran's leaders warned that if the U.S. get involved, they could target American military and business locations. But following that story, President Trump, he is looking at a different way that the U.S. might respond to the violence in Iran. Recent protests in Iran have caused many deaths and arrests. 2 U.S. officials say Trump has been giving several plans, some of which focus on Iran's security forces that are trying to stop the protests. Others options he's considering could affect Iran's government without using military attacks. More briefings are expected this week, including a meeting Tuesday with top security advisors to decide what to do next. An unusual animal rescue in Beaumont, Texas is highlighting a much bigger issue: abandoned exotic pets. Taylor Justice has more on why animal advocates say releasing these animals is never a human solution.
Beaumont Animal Care responded to an unusual call Tuesday. A domestic rat discovered in a glue trap in a busy parking lot. Shelter staff believe she was likely a dumped pet, a story animal advocates say they see far too often.
A rodent, a reptile, or any type of mammal, somebody brings you your food every day and all of a sudden they just take you out there and let you go. That alone is a challenge right there.
Animal care officers carefully freed the rat, later naming her Beyonce, who has since been adopted by a family. But not every animal gets such a happy ending.
These are chinchillas right here. A lot of these are abandoned and left as well.
Here at Gator Country, owner Gary Sarge says nearly all of the animals in the sanctuary arrived the same way: seized, abandoned, or dumped. Many of them even left alone at the property after hours.
People just simply get tired of them. They buy them, they simply just get tired of them over a couple of years. And that's how we end up with 90% of our animals.
Sarge says there's a common misconception that releasing these animals is the humane thing to do. But in reality, it's a death sentence.
If you've been feeding that animal all these years, you bring the food to it, you take care of it, and all of a sudden you just take it and put it in the wild and let it go, it doesn't know what to do.
He says anyone considering an exotic or uncommon pet should first understand the long-term responsibility and have a plan for rehoming if it doesn't work out.
For example, a 20-foot reticulated python is not going to be easy to rehome, right? So think about those things before you buy them. I just simply want people to be a little more respectful of that life if they don't want it anymore.
And abandoning an animal, whether in the wild or on a doorstep, can put both the animal and the public at risk.
Gas prices continue to drop. This time it's down another dime. The average prices of gasoline is now at $2.89 a gallon. The price cut in the past 7 weeks alone is a total of 27 cents. Since the high price point of $20.25 back in early April, the pump price is down 45 cents a gallon versus 1 year ago. The current price is a discount of 24 cents. Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Well, the gusty winds are becoming less an issue, less than 10 miles per hour now, and will continue to remain relatively light. Looking around from the north, though. But rain is, believe it or not, becoming a bigger issue around here. What's the timeline on that? Find out next in your forecast. Good evening, everyone. Trey Mining here. Hope you had a good weekend and a good Sunday. Clouds still already have been in place and still continue to remain in place for the next day or two or three. See some light rain near Laredo. This is the forerunner of things coming in our forecast area here. Not today, not for most of tomorrow, but coming in late in the day on Monday into Tuesday. Could see a shield of rain coming in. That's courtesy of an upper level low. I'll show you that right here. High pressure still dominates our area. north of our area, actually, toward the Four Corners region. Upper level low here, stuck down in Baja California area, dragging in a lot of tropical moisture from the Pacific up and over the state of Texas, giving us the cloudy skies we have been experiencing the last few days. This thing will begin to move as we head toward next day or two, toward tomorrow actually, and brings a little bit of rain with it. Not anything too widespread or too heavy, anything like that, but any rain around here is certainly appreciated. So we're thankful for that coming up. I'll give you the timeline here on that rain a little bit later on. Winds from the north coming in with 50s for temperatures currently on the outside, and will still remain in the 40s more than likely early tomorrow morning. So a little bit of chill in the air once again, not as cool as it was this morning because we expect the clouds to stay in place. And tomorrow's high will be once again in the low to mid 60s, kind of like it was today. Maybe a little bit of patchy areas of sunshine breaking through the cloud cover. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, kind of a wintry type of feel to the sky and to the air around here. Now, I'll give you a timeline here of the rainfall we expect. Mostly cloudy skies for most of the day on your Monday. See a little bit of hint of rain there south of San Antonio. We'll continue to move this model on the way through the day on your Monday. By 5, 6 o'clock, begin to move toward Beeville and coming in probably like after 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the evening tomorrow night. The rain coming through. Nothing widespread, nothing heavy, but a little bit of light rain here and there. Another mass coming in and coming up for your day on Tuesday, probably the first half of the day. So kind of right around that window, Monday night into Tuesday morning be the best chance of rain. Most of the day tomorrow will be on the dry side. That's an example here in Cuero. Cloudy skies, high temperatures in the mid 60s by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Port Lavaca, cloudy skies all day long, 64 degrees for the daytime high. And coming in Victoria, rain expected well after the sunset hour. Partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy skies, highs in the mid 60s by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Extended forecast for us here, we'll keep a 20% chance of rain coming in for late Monday into Tuesday. So keep your umbrellas handy. Nothing heavy, nothing widespread, anything of that nature. More sunshine by the end of the week. We're glad to see that. Coming in by the weekend as well. Maybe a little bit cooler, much cooler coming up by Sunday, but we'll wait and see what happens until then. In the meantime, high temperatures in the 60s, maybe a few 70s or so. Lows in the 40s. So overall, still keeping the cool air in place for the Crossroads area. Let's take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. What you need to do is get your smartphone, scan the code. You see right there, they'll take you to a web page where you can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient to have on your phone and free of charge as well. We got the latest in sports from Ray Robinson.
Thank you, Trey. The St. Joseph Flyers had their say. Now hear from the Faith Academy Cougars. Zayden Cherry and Jaden Valdez revealed the heart and hard lessons from yesterday's showdown. Don't miss it. So we heard from the Flyers, Coach Thomas, and the top Flyer players after their big victory against Faith Academy. Now let's switch gears and bring you the voices from the Cougar side. Zayden Cherry and Jaden Valdez are here to break down the sportsmanship and valuable lesson that came out of yesterday's intense matchup.
I just feel like this game's only going to get us better, because, our goal is to win state. We're just trying to get better, and we're just going to take this loss and learn from it. Not around our hands. I think to be more aggressive on defense, don't let one player take over the game. Number 10 had a good game, but we just got to stay better and keep building on the defensive side and get our offense. We came in wanting to run, we knew they had size over us, but we didn't want that to be a factor on us. So we just wanted to come out hustle them, and mistakes piled up, and it just didn't work out. We're afraid of seeing who's in front of us and just play our game and not be so worried about the other team and just play our game.
This weekend, the Victoria East Lady Titans soccer team were in action at the Gulf Coast Classic tournament. The team had an impressive run, finishing second overall. They secured wins against Cypress Park 1-0 and Navasota 4-0 before falling to Flower Bluff in a close final score 1-0. Looking ahead, East will face East Central on Tuesday at Memorial Stadium with kickoff set for 6 p.m. And the Crossroads Sports Center had their volleyball team in action. The 15S team made their season debut and set the tone with a flawless performance, going a perfect 5-0 finish, first out of the 11 teams. Over in the 14S division, both teams battled hard in the quarterfinals, taking their matches to 3 intense sets. The grit and heart was on display, and that was exactly what a lot of us love to see. 14 Blue claimed 13th place, while the 14 White finished 5th. Meanwhile, the 13S continued their rise, securing a solid 3rd place finish. And the Texas women's basketball team aimed to continue their undefeated streak today in some SEC conference action against LSU. And the Tigers came out strong, putting the Longhorns behind at halftime, and thanks in part to Michaela Williams early on in the first quarter. She was hot, but in this play right here, sees Flage lose the ball from a big steal that led to a fast break that delivered a smooth pass to Madison Booker, who finished with a slick layup just before the quarter ended. Booker led all scorers with 24 points, but unfortunately for Texas, they fall short, ending their undefeated run with a final score of 70-65. And on to some NBA talk. The Houston Rockets get ready to take on the Sacramento Kings later on tonight. The Rockets have been on a 2-game losing streak, both of these games coming at the hands of the Portland Trail Blazers, and they have a chance to try and turn things around on the road. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Alperen Sengun is a game-time decision from that ankle injury. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. Sunday is National Milk Day, celebrating the drink that goes perfectly with cookies and packs of nutrition punch. Next. Weekend, it's time to celebrate the beverage that goes perfectly with cookies, milk. Sunday marks National Milk Day, commemorating the first delivery of milk in glass bottles back in 1878. Fun fact, milk was once called the white liquor, and in 1863, making it safe to store longer. Today, the U.S. and Australia lead the world in milk experts. Milk isn't just tasty, it's packed with calcium, potassium, and vitamin B, and vitamin B12 and A. Cheers to milk. Yay, milk day.
I'll have a glass when I get home.
I don't know if you heard of the saying, my grandma always say it's good to drink milk because it makes your bones stronger.
It does. Calcium in that.
Yeah.
Makes your bones stronger.
It makes your bones stronger. I think that's a fact.
True. I thought you was about to say got milk. Y'all remember that whole got milk campaign?
I remember that, yes.
And then you sound like the milk as the mustache.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now let's go to weather.
We're gonna move it on over to the forecast. It's all right, couldn't resist a bad joke. All right, 20% chances. Not now. Most of the day on Monday is gonna be dry though. This is after sunset tomorrow through early morning on Tuesday. High 60s, more sunshine towards the end of the week, maybe even cooler coming up by next weekend. So keep your umbrella handy just in case for some light rain late on Monday and Tuesday. Otherwise, chilly, especially in the mornings.
Yes, especially at night and mornings. Well, I might eat some cereal with some milk today. But thank you for joining us. We'll hope you be with us tonight for 25 Now Weekends at 10. See you.